In today's video, I've got a modest stack of back issues to show you. These are books that I picked up from a recent warehouse sale hosted by a local comic vendor. Check it out. Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name's Chris, and this is Northgarden Comics. The year is quickly drawing to a close, but we've got time for one more back issue haul. And then when the new year arrives, I'll have more fun books to show you, including some collected editions that I've gotten recently and some that I'm in the process of getting. I'll probably do a video and show you some of those. And then I also recently got a lot of Transformers action cards to add to my existing collection from way back in the 80s, and I'm pretty pumped about that. So I'll probably do a video to share those things with you, but then of course we'll continue with the normal fun of dollar bin hauls and sales and shows and things like that that I get to attend. But for today, I've got a modest back issue haul to show you. These books came from a warehouse sale hosted by a local vendor. The vendor's name is CJC Collectibles, and he used to be known as Captain Jack's Comics when he had a storefront. Now he's just a kind of a floating vendor, I guess. He's got a local warehouse space that he occasionally opens up to have sales, but then you'll see him at different local shows and things as well. And on this particular occasion, it was one of those warehouse sales, and he was selling just about all the back issues he had for 50 cents a piece. And he did have some higher priced, wall type books and things, but I really focused on the 50-cent books like I normally do. And every book I'm going to show you today came from those 50-cent boxes. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to this final haul of 2023. All right, starting things off, you've heard me say I'm working on a good chunk of Wolverine's first ongoing title, collected it regularly in the low numbers, and I had basically up to issue 100 for a very long time. Now I'm trying to build on top of that to get up to issue 140, so chipping away little by little, and I found a few more issues to help me in that endeavor. Got issue 106, 107, and at this point, Adam Kubert was doing at least the covers, if not some of the interior pencils as well. It's at 108. And then I don't remember off the top of my head if I already have 109 or if he just didn't have it, but there's issue 110 as well. So 4 more issues down, not too many more to go to build out that run that I'm working on. Here's a volume of one of Ms. Marvel's ongoing volumes. I don't remember which number this is, but I am working on putting this together as I find these issues, which is not terribly often. And this is issue number 30, a tie-in to the Secret Invasion event. This next book was really just a cover buy during the Avengers versus X-Men in, what was that, 2011, 2013? Somewhere in that rough time frame. There was that main event going on, and then there were tie-in issues and spin-off titles. This A+X was one of those related series that came out where an Avengers person teamed up with an X-Men person, and this one you got Thor and Magic. I just thought it was a cool cover. I'm not working on this whole limited series, just thought that was a cool cover for 50 cents. Here we have Uncanny X-Force number 19. I think I actually have this volume completed now, but it was kind of like an itch in my brain that up till now I've only had a second printing of issue 19 that I bought inadvertently. I didn't realize it was a second print when I got it. I think I showed that in a haul video, just earlier this year, but he had a first printing, and there's no value really difference on this. It's not a key or anything like that. It's just my collector brain that wanted to have the first printing, so I went ahead and picked up a copy of that. And then got a few books from 90s, 80s kind of Superman era. This is so mid to late 80s. One of the runs of Superman that I'm working on from this time period is the John Byrne era of things, and that's where this issue of Action Comics comes in, 584. This might be where his run started. I'm not 100% positive of that, but that is one of the runs I am working on that went through the various Superman titles at the time. But then I'm also working on the Death and Return of Superman era of books. I had several of those from the time, but now I'm trying to go back and complete those runs that went across like Action Comics, Adventures of Superman, was there regular Superman at the time, and then Superman Man of Steel. There were multiple titles, and it actually gets really confusing for me to maintain my wish list or to quickly access my wish list when I'm looking through boxes. I was just out at a comic book store today, and there's a haul right over there. That'll be in a future video. But they had lots of Superman books from this general time period, but I've got to come up with a better way in my CLZ to organize my Superman wish list, because I don't know about you, but all these titles and covers start to look alike after a while when you're going through quickly. And there's so many issues of so many titles, it's hard for me to keep straight in my head which issues of which title I'm trying to hunt for. Now you say, well, Chris, I know you've got the CLZ app, don't you just look it up? But that's even a pain too sometimes, because you've got Action Comics is up in the A's, and Adventure of Superman is up in the A's. But then you've got other things that are down in the S's, and it's a lot of scrolling, and I don't often like to pause that long. You just want to get through the boxes, because if you're going through boxes that are not alphabetized, it's just random issues, but you're slowing down to look up every single thing over and over again, it can really add time to your hunting. But I do want to come up with a better way to kind of quickly have a snapshot view of the Superman issues I'm looking for, just because it takes me so long to look them up all the time. But all that long-winded explanation, I'm not sure why I shared it. Maybe just to share my one of my challenges with you. If you have similar types of challenges, let me know. But in trying to build out that Death and Return of Superman era, I did make some progress. Here's Action Comics number 684. And then 692. And then this one is from Adventures of Superman, and I honestly don't remember why I picked it up. I don't think it's a key or anything. Maybe I just thought it was a cool cover, but I got that issue 596 as well. Then we go back over to Marvel. I am working on the Mark Bagley run of New Warriors, which is the first 25 issues. This is one of those titles where, I was a sucker for every #1 that came out, and so New Warriors #1 was no exception. Jumped on board with that and got the first, handful or so of issues, and then dropped off. And now I'm trying to go back and build out that Bagley era. Like I said, issues 1 through 25. So issue number 9 there to make a little bit of progress on that. Another similar type of title that I collected for a little while and then stopped was this volume of Guardians of the Galaxy. This takes place in like the 31st century, so different team than what folks who are just introduced to the Guardians through the MCU are familiar with. But this was my first Guardians of the Galaxy. This is issue number 25. It's a cool cover, and it's cool that it's a newsstand, but there's still one more version of this I want to find, because this, while it has some reflectivity to it, there is that fully, I don't know if it's foil, metallic, some kind of nice reflective treatment on it, version of this that I will continue to hunt for. But for now, for 50 cents to have the newsstand, that's pretty cool. And then we go back over to Superman again. This was just a surprise find, I guess. I don't recall having this on my wish list, but it does come from the John Byrne era. This is Action Comics Annual number 1, but what makes this exceptionally cool, or super cool, is that that's an Art Adams cover, and I think Art Adams does the interior pencils as well. And so great to find Art Adams art, and then also from an era of a title and a character that I am trying to build out. So that was a great find. Perhaps my favorite find of the day was this next book that I'm going to show you. And the reason I'm working on it is because, well, let me just show it to you first and then I'll tell you more. This is Spider-Man number 67. This came from the adjectiveless Spider-Man volume that started with Todd McFarlane back in the 90s. And I collected it actively at the time, but then stopped after Todd McFarlane's run ended. And in recent years, I've wanted to go and build out the John Romita Jr. portion of this volume, which was way at the other end of the volume and started somewhere around here. It might have been like 64 or 66 was the issue where John Romita Jr. started doing the pencils. And he did most of the issues through the end of the volume, which ended at issue 98. Well, I've got almost all of them except for like 2 issues. And this was one of the 2 issues that had been eluding me for so long now. And now I have it. I got it for 50 cents. And yeah, so there's just 1 issue left I need to build out this part of the run that I'm working on. But this, because I so rarely see these, and I was able to get, 1 of 2 issues that I needed to complete this run, that definitely gets highlight of the day as far as, helping me to progress on a run I'm working on. And then the very last book to show you is relatively inconsequential, comparatively speaking. This is The Mighty Thor, issue 12.1. This is a volume from an era of Thor that gets really confusing to a collector collecting it in hindsight. And I say that because it was in this kind of, 10 years ago or so that Thor's title was rebooting multiple times, but then changing formal titles multiple times as well. So you had certain volumes that were called Thor, and then other volumes that were called Mighty Thor, and many times they all kind of looked very similar on the trade dress there. So it gets a little confusing to keep straight in your head the order in which to read them. But this is a volume that another kind of element of my collecting is that completionist element. And I have the first 12 issues of this volume, plus now this 12.1, and I might have like the last issue in the volume, which was like in the low to mid 20s. And I've had on my wish list to complete this volume for, years now, and it's still there, but I don't technically need to complete this volume anymore. I say that because not too long ago, I got this omnibus. This is the Thor by Matt Fraction omnibus that has either all or part or all of this whole volume in it already. And so there's really no need for me to go collecting the rest of that volume in single issue format. And nevertheless, there it was at the sale and I picked up that issue. So we'll see if I decide to complete that volume in the form of single issues or not. I can almost guarantee it'll come down to price. If I go to a 50-cent sale or a quarter sale, for example, and they have all of those issues there, I'll probably pick them up. But because I have them there that I can read now, I won't be spending $1 or higher on each of those, just because, I got to draw the line somewhere. I don't need to just double dip no matter what. But I don't know. How do you ever struggle with that? Do you struggle with, I have the single issue and therefore, and now I also want the collected edition, or vice versa? Or do you just say, hey, I've got it in one format, that's fine, I'm done? But either way, let me know down below. With that book, that wraps up this haul from the CJC Collectibles warehouse sale. And with that, then I'm going to say that's going to do it for me. And that's also going to do it for my haul videos for 2023. I do hope you saw something that you liked, whether that was in today's video or in one of the videos I posted all year long. Any highlights for you of things you saw or that you've been inspired to collect for yourself? Let me know down below. Also, any highlights for you from your own collection that you've acquired this year? Any single issues that you're super pumped to have been able to find, or a run you're proud to have been able to complete? Any highlights from your comic collecting all year long? Let us all know down below as well. Now, if you're not quite ready for the YouTube fun to stop, I have hand-selected a couple videos here for you to check out. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you all a very happy new year, and I will see you in the next one.